That's actually one of the few good things about Cell Damage. The music's actually not that bad. It's one of the gameplay is actually good. Oh well. Now let's get right into this bullshit, so... Just gonna modify the scene slightly. So I have a proper cohesion on how to do this shit. So I kind of want to try taking this a little seriously. But I'm gonna start off with this first, because I want to see if I can beat the boss of the area. If not, then screw it. I'll see how long I can tolerate it. And yes, I finally made it to the boss. He's a cheating asshole, so that's always nice to know. It's always nice to see that these kinds of games are made just to annoy you. I thought people grew past that shit with Dark Souls, but I guess not. So that's fucking nice. But regardless, it's I think I kind of found a good pattern, I think. It's just a matter of actually doing it. And I actually had to use a talisman to leave because I kind of got tired having to skip the cutscene. Which I give this game credit for. It's actually nice the game actually lets you do that. So you can actually just get right into the fight. And if you want to watch it again, you can do exactly that. And apparently we're fighting someone who can also go into yokai shift, which is very nice, except, well, he can apparently do it whenever the fuck he wants, but you, of course, you can only do it when you are able to, which is with that meat or whatever, so that's just very nice. So I'm clearly not a fan of that, but I'll digress on that shit. I also don't really feel like quitting out, so I'm not going to really be doing that too much. But I guess I'll use the armor talisman that I have. Basically gives you extra... excuse me. It basically gives you extra defense, I guess. Don't know how much it's actually to help, but at least I have it. I could have sworn I should be able to do a critical attack, but for some reason the game just doesn't let me. And apparently this dude's patterns are like legitimately random, so I could get a really good phase, and I can get a really shitty phase. Isn't that like one of the biggest complaints with Soul Ascender? And that was the game's final boss, and this is only the boss, or per se, the last boss of the second region, if I'm to understand this game's terminology correct. Are you really going to tell me this game literally does the thing where you literally get a random attack pattern based on complete chance? Are you actually fucking kidding me? Like, what the fuck kind of design is this, dude? Seriously, just what the fuck? So I basically can only use this power when he does that form because it's arguably the easiest. And then just spam fucking light attack until he's basically dead. So that's fucking nice. It's like, what the fuck? I'm fucking dead now. If I die, I'm just gonna quit. I don't want to fucking... I really don't want to waste my opportunity to kill this fucker. I do not give a single fuck. I don't want to have to fucking farm for ages just to get my fucking chance to use the yokai form, or whatever the fuck it's called. I really don't want to fucking do that again. Of course whatever. At least he's gonna die anyway. There we go. Would have been really mad if I somehow died of that shit. But hey, I actually did it. Mortal Soul Core. Yay, I actually did it. It's only because I got the actually shitty pattern of the three. It's just fucking crap. It's literally based on RNG, on what fucking pattern you get. Fuck you. Is there a pointing down emoji? Fucking samurai, not samurai, sorry. Sumo gesture. A backflip that's actually slow as hell. Okay, this is probably as good as it's gonna get. I'm gonna do my English geese Howard impression. Come on. Alright. There we go. Fuck you. What a fucking stupid fight. It can literally base on random whatever the fuck. And I cleared it in less than 10 minutes. Are you fucking kidding me? All because the game decided to give me a good fucking pattern. Jesus Christ. So now I can actually have a second Guardian Spirit. So that's great. So, yippee fucking skippy. So I'm just gonna check to make sure that I found them all. I don't think I did. Yeah, there's still some that I missed, so that's fucking nice. See, I'm gonna have to go back. Which fucking sucks, but whatever. Well, one thing that apparently, when I asked someone who's played the first game, couldn't even answer a basic question about the shop, which just totally is confident. It totally oozes confidence. Legitimately trying to ask advice of someone who knows more about the game series than I do. Apparently, when you go to the starting point and you go to the blacksmith, you apparently have to switch over to a separate menu if you want to be able to buy things that will go to your storehouse. Because apparently in okay, technically Bloodborne did this first. In Dark Souls, you actually couldn't do this. Oh my god, you're comparing it to Dark Souls. Well, I don't fucking care. This game oozes Dark Souls with Diablo-like loot, so I really don't give a shit. I'm gonna fucking call it a fucking... I'm gonna call it a fucking, Souls-like. I really don't fucking give a shit. Anyway, so you can actually switch over. If you push L3, you can then buy, well, that will go towards the storehouse, whereas in most games that do this, it actually gets set automatically. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm legitimately trying to find advice or whatever so I can actually beat this game, so I can move on to other better things. Like, I actually want to try to finish up Salt and Sacrifice. But yet, when I try to ask for help and stuff like this, I just basically get blue balled, and it's just very fucking annoying. But I'll fucking digress on that shit. So I basically have to switch over to storehouse in order to stock up, or whatever the fuck. It's just really fucking annoying. I can't even tell how much I have in stock. It only shows how many items you have in stock compared to whatever. So that's really fucking nice. And even though it doesn't even... Apparently you can hold R1 and just buy in massive bulk. But I don't want to waste all my gold on just that. Like, I want to actually get shit that's actually going to be useful. Like buying a shit ton of arrows. Because I want to make sure that I have more than enough for the following encounters. So I'll just make sure I have, I guess I'll make sure I have 300 in there. Or if you push R1, whatever, sorry. It's, I know this is a little more expensive, so I'll set this to 100. I don't know how useful hand cannon ammo is, so I'll set this to like 50. I don't know what. I don't think stone's gonna be that useful, so I'll just leave that alone. Let's see what else I can get. Hey, Mr. Machiavelli, how are you doing? I hope I'm saying it correctly. I actually beat a boss in Nioh 2, and it was the one that can change up random guardian spirits, and I got the pattern with the club, so I actually got really lucky. I actually spent most of my day trying to get to the point, and it finally paid off. I guess I'll suck up on this, too. Imagine do some of the tutorial missions so I can unlock some of the better abilities, because this game actually kind of encourages you to do that so you actually unlock more skill trees or whatever, even though people get annoyed at skill trees in games for some reason. I don't know why, but they just do, I guess. So, we'll just leave the girl alone and do some training, I guess, if you want to call it that. So let's hopefully don't get too fucked up in this. But hopefully you're having a good weekend, and hopefully you'll have a nice Mother's Day tomorrow. It is important to give thanks to mothers in such ways. And yes, I made my character wear blackface, if that's the correct term or whatever. This looks a lot like the temple where you fight the snake boss, so this is already going to give me anxiety. Get that nice blackface, I guess, while I do this. Oh yeah, I've read up about that. You mean like ads, like actual advertisements, like when you're playing mobile games, are just like shameless advertisements, like with what games like Tony Hawk's Underground used to do, or even was it Crackdown, where you saw like random advertisements of like Nikes or some shit. That does sound pretty shitty, to be honest. Oh, I have to actually use the item. Wow. Alright, learn skills. I guess it's just for tutorial's sake that you don't have to, do this sort of thing. Readied. I really hope this game's version of Miracles is not as shitty. One thing I give Dark Souls is that even though the cleric offense game isn't really that good and usually gets memed out to death, there are actually a surprisingly decent number of defensive tools that can make the game a lot more interesting, especially with Dark Souls 2 and 3 with Tears of the Nioh, though it's really fucking overpowered in a way, but it's still... I hate to go all typical and shit, but usually the best offense is the best defense. Since you have a decent amount of abilities you can use for abilities and such, and you're actually trying to use them for offensive purposes, like with Lightning Spear, unless it's like whatever game is not nerfed to hell and back is kind of shitty and pointless. Oh, you joined my Discord. That's good. I actually have proper discourse then. No pun intended. I'll have to check that in a minute. Let me just finish this up. Should get a lot more engagement. Hopefully not like with Solar and stuff. But that's another ordeal I'd like to not bring up. Unless I have to. But I doubt I'm going to have to. But yeah, the Discord's been dead for quite some time, so... don't expect a lot of, chatter, I guess. Give you the regular viewer role, so I know it's you. But yeah, you can't really trust EA anymore. I think like the last decent game that they made was with Jedi Fallen Order. But even with that, it's probably their lightning in the bottle that makes them go back to their ways, I guess. Because that didn't really have the unnecessary nonsense that the later games have or whatever. If that makes any iota of sense. Ah, shit, I actually have to get, proficiency up. Well, that sucks. I guess I try doing the basics, I guess. I don't know if you get, like, an actual, check mark for it, but I guess I could try doing it. Unless it's just there because... But yeah, if it ends up being like with mobile games where you basically have to watch advertisements and you have to pay to get rid of them, that's going to be really fucking shitty. A lot of mobile phone games are really notorious with basically having to deal with advertisements unless you pay like a $5 fee or something to remove them entirely. You could be playing something like Bejeweled and you have to pay like money to remove it, which is annoying. But I guess just having, like, you know, advertisements, like, for McDonald's while skateboarding isn't necessarily as rage-inducing as how people took the whole, gender discourse with, Dead Space, which I even thought was really fucking stupid. There was a lot more issues with the Dead Space remake, and of all the issues, people took that one to the extreme for some reason, damn well knowing it was made by EA. And especially didn't help that EA basically shut down Visceral Games, who made, Dead Space, which was the bigger issue in my opinion. And I still refuse to play it. The fact that people gave that actual good positive feedback, despite the same people being pissed off that EA closed Visceral Games, is kind of surprising, to be honest. Like, it legitimately baffles me that people are okay with that. I say the last Ubisoft games I really enjoyed are Watch Dogs 2, Far Cry 5, and Ghost Recon Wildlands. Those I can enjoy regardless. You know, I know they have whatever. I know Far Cry 5 has the silver coins bullshit, but honestly, they're not really as impactful as some people would think. And even then, most of the good stuff, you have to play through the game anyway. It's just basically a shortcut, I guess. Though technically, buying a game that has the bullshit is still gonna incentivize them to do that sort of thing, but if I just want to enjoy the game, I guess I'll do that, but I'm not gonna deny that having that kind of thing is annoying. But I'm just like... I can at least look past that, but I know that we're, like that. Oh, the original Far Cry trilogy. That's cool. I still need to get the rest of the attachments in Blood Dragon. I didn't really like Blood Dragon, honestly. I know that's kind of a really shitty take, but I just legitimately didn't really enjoy the game as much as I would have. Is it better than the modern stuff? Yes, but I just didn't really like it as much as I would have. Also, what the hell is press guard while flinching from an enemy attack? Do I have to actually take damage or something? Oh. Well, somehow did it. Far Cry 3 is also good, but I really hated the linear sequence missions that made stealth mandatory. Because the best part of those games is letting you control or make progress in the way that you see fit, and being forced to do stealth really kind of ruined the flow, honestly. Everything else I felt was pretty good. You know, the island, the gameplay for its time. There was definitely a lot to like, but the actual main story missions were kind of annoying. But I guess going through them rewarded you with actual more gameplay, so I guess it kind of balanced it out. But I can still enjoy something like Ghost Recon Wildlands just for them. Choose how you want to approach about it being annoying. Oh god, Jack X, that's There was a really notorious bug with that version, or with first print releases, where your memory card could, like, get corrupted or some shit. It was really annoying. I think you either had to have a greatest hits collection, or you had to, like, use a fresh memory card, because that was a pretty big risk of your save, let alone memory card, being completely corrupted because of some shitty optimization that Naughty Dog did or some shit. I hope they at least have a way for people to unlock the bonuses that can only be attained through other means, like with the DAX or PSP game, or even the other games in the collection. With be able to play as both Jak 1, 2, or both, excuse me. Be able to play as all the versions of Jak and the Ratchet or some shit. So I hope they at least incorporate a way to be able to do that. Because that would suck if they were locked behind content that they couldn't even bother putting in. It's like with what Nintendo did with Mario Tennis, where there was basically a slew of extra content that we could get from the Game Boy version of Mario Tennis, because Nintendo was kind of silly, even during the Virtual Console era. They couldn't even bother implementing a way to get said content unlocked into the Virtual Console version. Yeah, backlogs are definitely the gluttony version of the gamer's 7 deadly sins. Even Nioh 2 is on my backlog. I actually bought it on PC, but since I have a way to play it on PS4 about the hassles of storage space, I'm trying to give it a legitimate shot by just not really enjoying as much as I would like. I understand it's meant to be difficult, but I just don't care for the kind of difficulty this game's asking, I guess. I don't know, I honestly thought something like Code Vein or Salt and Sanctuary was designed a lot better, honestly. Oh, Twisted Metal Black's really fun. If you can get past the fact of the setting the game takes place in, the gameplay definitely more than makes up for it. Because some people don't really like Twisted Metal Black for that reason. I don't want to really spoil it, but if you already know, you might know what I'm talking about, but the gameplay more than holds up, especially for the time. And War of the Monsters is really great, too. I think the game is even better than the Godzilla games that came out. The only major problem with it is that it only supports up to 2 players. And that's a damn shame, because you actually have you and 3 other CPU monsters duking it out at once, and yet you can't have a way to do 4-player combat. And also, with 4-player combat, I don't know what is it with David Jaffe's games of Twisted Metal, but every time they try to do split scale more than 2 people, there's always a lot of content moved. Whether it be from the original 2 Twisted Metal games to even Black, and even the 2012 game, which I really liked. It's kind of a shame they made the online the way that they did, but it was an interesting ordeal. The single-player campaign fucking sucked, though. And also, the more that I grow older, the more I realize just how much I fucking hated Head-On's characters. I really fucking hate Cousin Eddie. He is probably the worst Twisted Metal character ever conceived in a video game. But people still have hate bonus to Twisted Metal 3 and 4, which I think is disgusting, personally. It is definitely nice that Sony actually did put Twisted Metal 1 and 2 on the PlayStation Store. I don't expect them to put 3 and 4 for obvious reasons, but it's nice that they actually put the original 2 games on the PS4, and it actually has a PS5 version, so that's cool. So people can't make the argument that Twisted Metal is abandonware when you can buy it legally, so get to buying it. Sucks there's no online play, but Tekken 2 didn't have it, and at least I finally got to play it. Was it really worth playing it again? I suppose, but I still should have got it for free when it actually was promised, but I'll digress on that. Okay, we're gonna start paying attention to the prompts, because I'm kind of not paying attention. I guess it's this game's parrying system. It'd be Skippy. There are some cool ideas this game does, but I just don't care for the Diablo Dark Souls hybrid. It's mostly Dark Souls with a little bit of Diablo looting and stuff. Even something like Borderlands can be challenging for reasons and not having to be ball-bustlingly difficult like what this game tries to be. I know that might sound kind of meme-like, but those games can still be challenging in their own right. They don't have to make it as annoying as possible. Mainly for just people going through it in general, but that's just how I see it personally. Okay, this is the form that the boss used, the one for the end of the second region, and somehow the fight was amazingly easy. Wow, those characters are great. Kind of sucks that you didn't get much information on the secret characters except for Yellow Jacket. Like, there's just really not much to go off of, honestly, besides the very vague loading screen tips for the story mode. Which, despite it being very repetitive, at least was a whole lot better than how Twisted Metal 2012 did it. By having those awful fucking racing missions. I guess even David Jaffe himself hated. He actually gave me some shit on Twitter, I kid you not, because he mentioned cuties, and I guess he's a fucking die-hard lover of that film for some fucking reason. That movie on Netflix that has actual children doing disgusting acts and shit, I guess he's a fan of it for some reason. It's, the world is fucking ending as we know it. Same dude who basically worked on God of War 1 and 2. Same dude who worked on, Twisted Metal. And I hope to God he didn't work on Head On, because, like I mentioned, Cousin Eddie is just fucking awful for a Twisted Metal character. And I'm surprised people don't give him as much shit as Abby with The Last of Us, and I'm not even exaggerating. He is legitimately that game's version of Abby. With the only thing missing is the sex and the fact that that Cousin Eddie is literally a dude. He goes everything against what Twisted Metal is, and the fact that he doesn't get his comeuppance is honestly disappointing. It's just disgusting, personally. Yeah, that does kind of suck, although there is footage of actually people using Warhawk in a very unstable way, but it would have been interesting. I know Single Track, at least it's the studio that called it back then, did also make Rogue Trip, which was a hell of a lot better than their other game, which was, what the hell was it? It's just a submarine game. It's an interesting idea, but it was just very weird, honestly. I forget what it's called. It's this sub-car combat game. I think the final boss of that game is basically looks like the equivalent of Crimson Fury, which is the sports car. I do wish you could actually also play as the little tanker dudes that support Warhawk, but unfortunately you don't. But if you actually set a free battle in Minion Save and get to choose Minion, you actually have to fight him, so you don't have to go through the whole story mode to do that. I kind of wish you could do that for Warhawk at least, so you could actually just fight him in his arena, but you don't get to do that. You can do it with Minion, but not Warhawk, which kind of sucks, but it's a really fun game. Europe fucking butchered the fuck out of it, though, with censorship to hell and back. They also had a bunch of weird advertisements to the game that don't really have anything to do with the game. It's interesting, but it's just... I don't know. It was a thing, I guess. At least the game's still fun, though, so... It definitely might be something I could go back to, maybe. There's also a cheat code you can actually use to unlock everything, and I don't know if it works in that version, but I assume it does. I believe it's documented on the cutting room floor, so if you don't want to go for the BS, I encourage you to go to that site and check the Twisted Metal Black section. That is, I don't know if using cheat codes disables trophies, I assume it doesn't, but at least it's better than what the God of War games on PS3 did, where they actually disabled the unlocking feature. I guess it was something that wasn't meant to be in the game, but... I don't know. I know there's things like infinite, I don't think there was infinite ammo. I think there was. I know there's like God mode or something. But I know there's like an actual unlock all levels and stuff, which is very ideal for people who just want to get to the multiplayer and stuff. and watch those awesome cutscenes, which has some really interesting horror vibes, honestly. Way more interesting than most horror movies, in my opinion, but I'll digress on that. I don't mind the fight itself, I just hate the character. He's basically a Mary Sue, and his ending goes against everything that Twisted Metal is known for. Like, usually Calypso, like, screws over people, but yet he doesn't for Cousin Eddie for some reason. It's like, I guess all it takes is brute strength and just struggling Calypso, whatever. It could even be like in Twisted Metal Black, where Cousin Eddie gets in his RV, and then you hear like a, what the hell is it? You hear like a time bomb sound, and then he's driving, and then you hear Calypso say his classic line, which for some reason doesn't cite in Twisted Metal 2012. I think it goes unused, but he's just a really shitty character for story purposes, though. Definitely one of the shittiest characters in Twisted Metal lore. And the fact that he plays Minion definitely puts the icing on the cake. I know Calypso doesn't always screw people over, like for some reason he didn't completely screw over the driver of Shadow Twisted Metal Black. I guess he was just feeling fancy, I guess, or he's a simp for emo chicks, who knows. Like, she is one of the few characters I can think of that Calypso absolutely does not intend on screwing over. That's kind of funny if you think about it. Because usually Twisted Metal plays in that whole be careful what you wish for, and yet Raven is just one of the few characters that just does not get fucked over in any capacity. At all. She gets her revenge, and that's it. I don't even think it's really explained. Even characters like, what is it? I guess even Dollface to a point doesn't get completely screwed over, but at least she made the choice whether to, kill the dude who put her in the mask. Or even, shit, I really gotta pay attention to prompts. This is how fucking horrible I am when it comes to, interacting and shit. I know that with, I think it's Bloody Mary. I think that's the driver name of Spectre. She ended up wanting to she wanted to end up getting you know, the perfect man, but I don't think she was happy with that, but it's not that, she, died because of it. She just didn't get exactly what she wanted. And of course, was it Billy Ray? No, not Billy Ray Cyrus, no. I think he didn't get screwed over. I think they retconned Dark 2 for, Twisted Metal head-on, because I think in Twisted Metal 2, I think it was implied that he was, Needles Kane's father or something, and then he just kind of made him, Mr. Slam clone. Which, even with head-on, like, people want to complain about Twisted Metal 3 reusing stories from Twisted Metal 2. Twisted Metal head-on literally does the exact same thing. Also, how the hell does an android become a fucking ghost? Like, I'm not usually one for lore in games like this. But, like, a lot of the character profiles in Twisted Metal 2 imply that Twisted Metal has happened more than once. So how could Simon Whittlebone and Kristen Sparks become ghosts or some shit? Yeah, I know, just, there are some characters who legitimately do not get screwed over in any capacity, even when you usually think that they would. I know Calypso tends to do that, but it's just, with Raven of all people, he doesn't exact revenge in any capacity. I guess it just depends on the person, I guess. They are definitely some interesting stories, though, but Cousin Eddie's is probably by far the worst. And the ones that are kind of annoying is mainly with the secret characters, because they're just not really that fleshed out. Especially with characters like Axel, who could have been a lot more interesting, honestly, because I don't think he has the cutscenes, unlike the other characters. Black's is only really lame just because he has absolutely no story development, and you just know so little. I guess it just what makes it interesting, but it really feels really unfinished. But that's whatever. Doesn't make the game bad, but it's just like, I don't know. I really wish that they actually had more time to finish those. I really wish they would do another small brawl though. I actually kind of like that game. Some of the endings on there are actually pretty interesting. Such as a minion there, and all you get was Piecemeal, who was basically a coagulation of the other drivers in there. Or actually RC cars, because they actually use RC cars instead of actual vehicles. I also wish Minion was in there too, just so they could try to explain how Billy Calypso got his powers or some shit. I don't know. Could have been a little funny reference to have a dude dressed up in a costume though. Okay, so you do know the story. Okay, because I remember watching way back when I was actually interested in the channel, but I remember that some Call Me Johnny mentioned that he wasn't really a fan of how Twisted Metal Black looks, in spite of how Twisted Metal 1 and 2 are, so I guess you do know. Which I guess makes sense for the setting, but it's, I feel it's kind of a weird complaint, but the setting aside, the game is definitely excellent for gameplay. I do like how it boasted from the creators of Twisted Metal 1 and 2, because I guess people just want to forget that Twisted Metal 3 and 4 exists. And yet, people got Head On, which is basically a Twisted Metal 2.5. Which isn't bad per se, but I just don't think it does anything nearly as interesting as what, in comparison to Black. I'm also not a fan of the, PS2 version with the extra edition. I'll have to explain a little bit what I mean by that. It's really fucking lazily remade in a way. But yeah, I know that stuff. I actually really like the lore Twisted Metal, unlike something like Dark Souls where it doesn't want to make you care. Which that's the thing with those games. Like, yeah, they might have interesting lore, but they just don't really give you a reason to care. Like, even when you watch the endings of, like, Twisted Metal, it's like, and you know of, like, Kristen Sparks or Needles Kane and stuff, like, it's actually interesting. But I guess with how games like Dark Souls present itself, that it's just interesting. I just don't find that type of lore interesting. Even this game, I just do not care for whatever it's got going on. I don't care for such nonsense. I guess it's made differently, but I don't know. I don't really find myself getting engorged in, like, the lore of Dark Souls like I do with Twisted Metal or anything like that. I only really wish there was more to go off of, I guess that's what makes it unique in a way, but I'll digress on that. But as for Twisted Metal Head-On, there was the PS2 release, which adds a sequel to Black. And it turns out the whole plane crash thing was a hoax, which is kind of dumb. But the version of Twisted Metal Black that's in there basically takes the same engine as Twisted Metal Head-On, but completely ruined it, in my opinion. And it just felt like a really shittily remade, rehashed, recycled version of Twisted Metal Head-On, but with Black characters. Oh yeah, I think I remember that. I haven't caught up on my Twisted Metal lore in a while, but even then, that's like actually interesting. It might be a little vague for those who didn't play Twisted Metal 1 and 2, but it still sucks you don't really get a lot of cutscenes with the secret characters. The only one you really get with anything is with Yellow Jacket. The rest is just left in the cutting room floor or some shit. But even with the rushes of Twisted Metal Black and stuff, the game still turned out to be acceptable for gameplay. It still holds up really well. It's just that some of the story bits got, you know, the axe. Unfortunately. So like I mentioned, even with Halo 2 having a lot of rushed story bits, the game still turned out to be great, and it helped build Xbox Live, so it was definitely liked. Some parts are rushed, but it wasn't like the worst thing ever for the game, I guess, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I wasn't really a fan of how they basically tried to, they basically recycled Twisted Metal Head-On's engine with the Twisted Metal Black Lost City or some shit, and they basically just made it, They basically retold it to make it look like Twisted Metal Black, but it really wasn't. They axed Minion, they axed Warhawk, they axed the tanker dudes, and instead you get a completely new driver, which could have been interesting, but there's absolutely no story of it whatsoever. And you get Gold Tooth, which is basically a gold-plated version of Sweet Tooth, which is just something. It's just weird. And there's only like, what, 4 levels, and only 3 of them are even used in actual story, so that's just something. I believe there was also the little mini game with Sweet Tooth where you actually have to unlock concept art, which is kind of cool. And even being able to watch the original Twisted Metal 1 endings, because it was supposed to have full motion video back in the day instead of the text endings that we got. I do like those. That was actually preserved though. That was cool. That was definitely the most interesting part, and I believe first print copies of it actually got a best of soundtrack for Twisted Metal 1 and 2. So it was definitely great for Twisted Metal fans, but almost every other thing for the game itself was kind of nerded in a way. Hell, they even cut the online, which is a thing for the PSP version, and in place you've got a 2-player split screen mode, which I guess is okay, but it's kind of like a really weird balance. It's like on one hand you got a bunch of content for Twisted Metal fans, and then the other they just kind of neutered a lot of weird things. So it's kind of a constant struggle, honestly. Yeah, I know of that. And I also find it that in this game specifically that if you actually have save data from Nioh 1, you can actually unlock the ability to have your character look like the protagonist from Nioh 1. So that's kind of cool. I really wish more games did that sort of thing. I do find it funny, though, that in versions outside of US, you actually can unlock the Sweet Tooth costume without needing a memory card, but it costs a lot of money. I'm assuming it does that for this version, or for the PS4 version, because I don't know if save data works in the same way that it does, but there is also a pretty cool unlockable for that. I don't like how the laugh is different from Twisted Metal Black, but I definitely know that's supposed to be like Sweet Tooth's. It's pretty cool. I probably did it really shittily, but it's cool. It's a cool little, as the kids call it, Easter egg, even though literally anything that's a secret in Call of Duty is tainted now because of shitty Call of Duty influencers. Oh, there's this Easter egg on Keynote der Toten. You have to reach wave 10 and shoot this box 10 times. Yeah, it's not a fucking Easter egg. You wanna know what's an Easter egg? Seeing something that's not whatever the hell that bullshit is. But I'll digress 110%. I fucking hate how that word is ruined now. Like with Roger Smith now. Like, if you look up Roger Smith on Google, you won't find Roger Smith from Big O, but you'll find the damn alien from American Dad. Which will be fine, except American Dad sucks now. I don't know if it's still airing on TBS, but that show is once cool, but now just rotten, like with The Simpsons. Except even worse. Oh, that sucks. Well, at least you can still play the original, so it's not completely lost, I guess. And you can even play it through the PS4, I guess, so... At least it's not lost to the PS2 shackles of exclusivity. It sucks you can't use your own disc, but if it's on sale and you really want to buy it, I guess it's whatever. It's, you know, I don't think it's really worth, getting a hub about that sort of thing, but I can understand why people would be upset, but it's, I don't think it's worth, considering that in the same way as, like, actual preservation, I guess, if that makes any sense. How like I'm being killed by 2 dudes and a dog. That's just amazing. It's just very wholesome. But yeah, there are a lot of games I would like to be released from the exclusivity era, but If I were to go on about that, like how people do, I would just be I would just be on non-stop tangent drive. I don't want to be that type of person. Like, there are some things that I think that could be worth of ranting, but I don't know if I want to go on, like, how Dreamcast guy of all people does with rants and shit. Like, some of the stuff he rants about is really insane. So, I know I like to go on rants and stuff, but Jesus, the way some of his rant topics are ridiculous. And also, if I just have a passion for it, I just don't bother. It's why I'm not really doing a rant in the whole Fallout thing, like I mentioned. I'm not really that big of a Fallout fan. It just, I don't have a drive to, like, play Fallout because of the show or whatever. Yeah, basically. Money is the dirtiest thing, but it's also a solution, I guess, to a lot of problems, unfortunately. But at least there's some funner things in life. You just have to be careful what you're looking for, I guess. I could probably do a video talking about, like, fan-made projects that claim to be free-to-play, but you have to actually subscribe to Patreon. Can you imagine that shit? Like, imagine if a AAA video game came out that was free-to-play, but you had to subscribe to a subscription service just to get the full features of the game, and they're not even fucking finished. Like, and I think there's even some fan projects that are, like, 2 updates behind for the people who want to play for free, and then if you pay for a demo of the game, or whatever, it's not even fucking finished. Like, I think that's even shittier, honestly. Like, if you want to call it a free-to-download game, fine, but it's like, you basically have to pay for a subscription for a game that may or may not even be finished. Like, what the fuck? Like, I mentioned a couple times in some of my other videos, notably with the Yuzu emulator and the, what is it, the response to my, Battlefront video, whatever. It's like, people think that, you know, AAA companies are the most evil, greedy people, especially with the whole, discourse surrounding Hi-Fi Rush and shit, which I'm still not really into it, but I can see why people would be really annoyed, but at the end of the day, I'm still convinced that Bethesda publishing it was kind of a low-key red flag, but I'll digress on that. But, it's whatever. But I'm just like, even the people who claim to be on your side, not even just part of the gaming scene, are screwing people over more than the people you claim to be screwing over, whatever. Like, some of the fan-made projects out there are just like, they bribe you with money in more ways than even Activision would do, whatever. It's disgusting. Some of the way that they treat the people, Jesus. But I don't know, I would have to, Oh yeah, that's another thing. I actually had the Unreal Tournament, thing downloaded, but I don't think you can download it anymore. That really does suck. Unfortunately, though, Fortnite is, as much as of, more of a celebration of media in general it is, it's still the most obnoxious thing ever. I don't know why people really enjoy that stuff. If you could at least play the game on offline mode and just fuck around in creative mode, I wouldn't mind. Because Little Big Planet was made for that sort of thing. And it actually had a story mode. It actually kind of made sense. But Fortnite, it's just constant Battle Royale and playing it, or whatever. Whatever user-made mode that only PC players get to use. And if you buy the Save the World, you can only play it on anything besides the Switch. Also, isn't the Switch supposed to be a portable console and you can't play the game offline? So what's the point of the Switch? It's like playing Overwatch on it. What's the point? It's, just seems to be really shitty, honestly. Maybe, but I really hope that they use the proper Quake 3 remaster and not Quake Live, because that one is known to have some really weird balancing issues, or they could do the thing like with, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo or whatever, by actually having a balanced mode and original mode or whatever. Or at least separate rankings for the 2 versions, I guess. It definitely would be cool, though, but I know that people would be annoyed at some things like that. Oh god, Quake Live is censored? Well, fuck that. Honestly, I just downloaded that mod that basically adds split screen play for Quake 3 Arena and just call it a day. Oh, that's really shitty if that's the case. No Jibs? I hope I'm saying that right, or Gibbs. That is really shitty. I also liked Unreal Tournament 3. I really wish they had 4-player split screen, though, for the console versions, but it was definitely something. Way better than most console shooters at the time, but, you know, people would rather play Call of Duty or Halo, but I'll digress on that. At least I feel like a practical shooter. Not practical, sorry. A proper shooter. But I'm not going to be like under the mayo that complains about Halo being a slow-paced shooter or whatever. I don't mind the pace of the game, I'm just not a fan of the RNG checkpoints. I can understand the 2-weapon limit and the regenerating shields or whatever, because even the game kind of explains it, but I'm just not a fan of the RNG checkpoints. Like, if I'm feeling a good day to play it, I'll probably be able to tolerate it and enjoy it like I did back then, but that RNG checkpoint nonsense is just what stops me from really playing it. Also, doesn't help, even the PC ports of Halo 1 and 2 were kind of annoying. I think Halo 2 Vista, it was called, was annoying because it was on Vista, and Vista was not exactly the most liked thing in the world. And Halo 1's PC port was handled by Gearbox, of all people, way before they did Borderlands, so make of that what you will. Like, people want to complain about FOV in games nowadays. Halo 1's PC's FOV was really fucking shitty. Like, really, really fucking shitty. It also lacked the co-op, and multiplayer was a mess. But hey, at least you got that sweet, what the hell is it? The flamethrower and be able to use the fuel rod cannon, so it was kind of worth it, I guess. Which is also ironic, since that was the basis of the multiplayer for Halo the Master Chief Collection, so I just think that's really funny. They use the actually shittier PC port as the basis for the so-called remasters of Halo 1. Ironic. I never got to play Quake 3 Revolution. I tried emulating it quite some time ago, but I couldn't get it to work. I've also dabbled with Quake 3 Arena on the Dreamcast, also through emulation. It's an interesting beast. But it's, I don't know how I'll be able to use Cheat Engine for that for unlocking purposes or something. Because I've been doing that a lot with RetroArch and stuff. Trying to find ways to basically have saves unlocked for most retro games, since a lot of things like that aren't so easily accessible. And RetroArch, is annoying as it is that the people who behind it kind of piece of shit, it is undoubtedly the more universally accessible emulation machine. Does it seem like you can run RetroArch games okay? I've been wanting to be able to like play the older games with friends locally, but the fact that we're kind of limited to just the Xbox, it's not even the one that has the thing where you can buy the what the hell was it? The fact that you can that it has a dev key installed or whatever, because I actually did have I actually bought a dev key so I could use RetroArch. I don't know if Microsoft's going to revoke that or not. This was back when the whole Microsoft basically had this thing where you could basically soft mod, I guess if you want to call it that, your Xbox to use RetroArch or whatever. I haven't used it in a long ass time though. I don't know if it would even work anymore. I mean, I could. I kind of had no reason to use it. It's but I've been mainly trying to find ways to do that sort of thing, so I can experience the finer parts of those older games in more ways than one. I wonder if the Unreal Tournament 3 final boss would be considered harder than the one you're talking about. Especially in the hardest difficulty, which is always fun. What the fuck is this? Well, fuck, I'm dead. I'm gonna probably do some COD in a little bit after this. I might try to kill that searchlight, and if not, I'll because I've technically already done what the hell is it? I've already done Infinite Warfare and OG Modern Warfare 2, so I want to try doing Ghosts. I want to mix it up a little bit. At least I made a lot of good progress. I just have to learn that. Honestly, I don't know. I don't like to be the negative Nancy, whatever, but considering the state Microsoft is in, I'm not even sure if it's worth dreaming about such things. Especially since that so-called Perfect Dark remaster is just basically development hell. And maybe at best it'll be playable, but at worst it'll basically be like Duke Nukem Forever. Probably just replay Perfect Dark again and just get more jollies out of that. I don't like to be all negative and stuff, but it just seems highly unlikely. Someone asked me if they would do like a Marvel versus DC versus Mortal Kombat. It's just like, no, that's not gonna fucking happen. I mean, it'd be cool, but it's the same reason why there can never be a Street Fighter cross Mortal Kombat. The IPs are way too different for such things, despite them being the most popular fighting games ever made, and that there used to be a shit ton of Flash animations on Newgrounds. Now, Mortal Kombat and Killer Instinct could possibly work, because they both kind of have similar gameplay, and even the original Killer Instinct had the finishers in some aspect, and there was some blood and a little bit of gore in it, so I could kind of see that working. You know, because Killer Instinct used to have those finishing moves, and even Humiliations was basically this game's equivalent of friendships, I guess. So I could kind of see that working. But with Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, no. They would have to completely neuter the fatalities, which is why Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe kind of failed. Although, ironically enough, the European version was not censored in any capacity. I read up on the cutting room floor. It's like, wow, for once, the Europeans actually got an uncensored version of the game. And also with just Mortal Kombat and Marvel and DC, it just wouldn't fucking work. Oh yeah, I know what you mean about Perfect Dark, but I'm just like... I wouldn't really think that it would be possible. Not to be an asshole or anything, but I just legitimately think that it would not work at all. Okay. I just don't think that'd be a possibility, honestly. I didn't actually play most of the games in the Rare collection. Like, I actually want to go through Blast Corps again. That game was a lot of fun. It was really annoying, but it was a lot of fun. But let me boot up the Xbox for a bit. I haven't played Extinction in a while, so I hope you're ready to see me fail a lot. But at least I made some good progress on Nioh 2, so I'm definitely happy about that. Finally completed the tutorial missions. I finally completed the rest of that level was on, and I can finally suffer through that game again, I guess. No, but I don't like to be negative like May was with a lot of stuff and just being blatantly wrong about things. I'm just like, I just don't think that Microsoft or being Perfect Dark would be on PlayStation would just be viable. I just don't think it'd be possible. It'd be great, yes, but I'm just trying to be as realistic as possible. I just don't think that would happen. But thank you for the kind words. Anyway, speaking of kindness, I'm going to treat my kindness by playing the worst known Call of Duty game, but playing the side mode. As soon as it loads up. Because I hate myself, I guess. I have to pick Extinction first. Okay, let me do solo, because apparently when you do custom matches, it doesn't give you self-revive for some fucking reason. I'll do regular. Because playing on casual kind of... I think it either gives you less experience or it gives you no experience, and hardcore I don't think gives you extra, so it's kind of pointless. But yeah, here we go. COD Ghosts. I'm actually playing it. Haven't played this in a very long time, like I said, so... I think the last time I played this was either in a private session with Prophecy Zach, or when I did that video where I talked about you can't even pause in this fucking mode. Even when you're playing online, by the way. In case you don't believe me, I'm playing by myself, I can't pause the game. What the hell? I just think that's really shitty, to be honest. Wow, that is a major lag spike. It took us on PC. Yeah, that fucking Tarkov drama was really fucking dumb. I almost bought that game, actually. This was way before they did that bullshit. This is what I mean with, like, the not all AAA gaming companies are being annoying about it. It's like, even, I don't know if Escape from Tarkov could be considered AAA, but if any major known city were to do that, people would be fucking angry up the wazoo. It's in the I don't know if you want to call it niche, but it's like, there's a certain circle in the gaming development cycle where they actually do something like that, and it's just like, that's just ridiculous that they actually do that bullshit that the Tarkov devs have done. It's just ridiculous. And apparently people actually like that game, but I'm sure hope they're gonna change their minds after that bullshit. That's even worse than what Blizzard did with Overwatch. This is fucking ridiculous. Like, it's just ridiculous that with, what the hell were they called? With, Overwatch not having the PvE mode. I guess what they say is true about it could always be worse, and well, there you go. It could always be worse with the Tarkov devs doing exactly that. Which is amazing. And not in a good way, but still. And then, of course, Sony doing their bullshit with Helldivers 2, which that game should not be online only to begin with. It's why I can't really enjoy games like Destiny, damn well knowing that I need an internet connection to play the damn games I fucking bought money for. If it was a free-to-play game, it'd be whatever, but I actually had a comment from Prophecy Zach about a year, I guess he left another comment a year ago, I guess, and he tried to mention that the game Cold War doesn't have that thing where you have to reset the system. But my whole point of that video is that when I'm playing something like Call of Duty Cold War, and yes, it's succumbed to the bullshit, only because there has to be another game that we can all play, but whoop-de-doo, it's fucking Call of Duty. Big whoop. And, I guess from a design standpoint, there are some things that game kind of does okay, like being able to pause an online game, kind of like how Saints Row 3 does it, which is very interesting. But it's so Call of Duty, so I tend to not play it. But just the fact that if I want to play the damn thing, I have to worry about the game possibly losing my internet connection. I have to restart the whole fucking game. I just think that's really shitty design. And I don't care that the Xbox version has it not having to restart the entire game. That's just shitty programming, period. It's like I can't even pause in this fucking game mode that I'm playing by myself. Like, what the hell? But yet these COD kids always fucking defend the shit out of it, which I just think it's really annoying. Like, I can't even pause in Infinite Warfare zombie modes. Yet in this one mode that Neversoft apparently made, by the way, you can't pause it. What's the difference? I'm playing by myself. Why the fuck can I pause in a game mode that you're playing by yourself? Is this fucking copying Dark Souls or some shit? Am I playing Phantasy Star Online? I know for a fact that you cannot pause in Phantasy Star Online, but the difference, that game is actually much better designed. And if you actually didn't save and quit your game, you are fucked. Like, there is a reason why they say, always save and quit your progress, otherwise you lose a lot of progress. You know, people look at that message in Dark Souls like, it's just a bunch of bullshit. But Phantasy Star Online, you didn't respect the game's rule sets, you are fucked. I hate to sound like a fucking boomer, but it's just fucking annoying, honestly. And then, of course, with Microsoft doing the bullshit with Hi-Fi Rush, which, like I said, I'm not really a fan of it, just in the fact that Bethesda published it and that they probably could do some bullshit with it, but I guess get laid off just for the fact that people have actually lost a good developer. And apparently they also made The Evil Within, which I wasn't really that interested in. It's just basically another Resident Evil-like game, and they even kind of referenced that with in one of the early chapters where it basically replicates the zombie DC for the first time. I also know that Shinji Mikami made it, but I wasn't like ecstatic about it to begin with. It wasn't. It's not exactly my backlog, if you want to call it that. I'm not gonna hold it against Prophecy Zach. He is my friend, but I'm just like, I cannot find any fathom to defend such nonsense. Honestly, like that's why I prefer playing Borderlands over Destiny. I can actually play the game offline. If I want to play with people, I can. But with something like Destiny, you should be able to play it offline. Like legit, I'll be playing the original Destiny if I was able to, but I can't. And when the servers go down, people are gonna fucking cry about it, like with the crew. The game is made by Ubisoft. I actually wanted to buy that game, but it's like I can't play it because I think the servers are dead or that it's going to be shutting down. So what the hell is the point? It's also why I kind of prefer playing Ghost Recon Wildlands over its sequel. Yeah, I know it's Ubisoft for, but it's like if I can enjoy a game, I can try to enjoy as much as I can. But if I don't like the game, I'll just bitch about it or just stop playing it, or I push through just so I have the right to complain about it because you can't crap on a game unless you play it. I guess it's technically true. People have reasons to not want to buy a game, but I guess me with Elden Ring, it's whatever. It's just ridiculous. So that's a really weird glitch you can use with this turret. You can basically get mad score or some shit. It's really weird. But, I don't know. It's, I know it seems kind of hypocritical, but I'm playing Call of Duty, but it's not like I'm playing the multiplayer, and I'm mainly playing this mode because I know you can level up in it, so that if I do end up playing this somehow, I can keep up, whatever, and you can play it by yourself without needing internet, unless you're playing the Xbox Live version, which for some reason progress is split between them, which is always nice. Not that it really helps since you have to. You can't even pause either way, and there's only 2-player splits, which is what I meant to say. But it's just annoying, honestly. But I did find it funny that Tom Clancy's Quarantine game was basically Extinction, but as a full-length game, I guess. But yeah, I know some people aren't really fond of Far Cry 4 and 5, which I can get. But if I enjoy the game, it's whatever. Not trying to be one of those people. It's just like, if I wasn't enjoying a game, people would definitely know. Oh, good lord, waterboarding, Jesus Christ. Like, I've enjoyed something like Arkham Knight. I can understand I can understand some of people's criticisms of that game. But some people will just literally defend the game to hell and back, and that's what I don't understand. There are a lot of games I like, and there are some games that I know have a lot of problems, like Akiba Strip, or even, Senran Kagura, SL Versus. It's, I know those games are faulty, but I'm not going to act like a fucking fanboy about it, but yet people want to act like that with anything else. I know Pride Month's going to be interesting, though, because I believe that's when the Elden Ring DLC comes out. I just hope that for the fans' sake that the fucking DLC is worth it. Like, that's all the nicest I'm going to be with that. I just hope that the DLC is worth the $40, because Lord knows that if a company or whatever puts out a DLC that's not worth the fucking asking price, and it's not worth it, people are going to be fucking mad annoyed at it. Like, Nintendo basically sold a hard mode in Breath of the Wild, which is asinine to me, because people legitimately got annoyed at Metro Exodus for not Metro Exodus, excuse me. Metro Last Light for basically doing the exact same fucking thing. Like, I don't understand that, first of all. And it's like... And then also not to mention that even games like Blast of Master Zero, my favorite trilogy of gaming as of late, even Kana's Raising Simulator, the Kana's DLC, even though shit is like $2, it's not worth the fucking asking price. It's very cheap, but it's not even worth it. Very little lead play value, very annoying mechanics. It's just annoying. But what's also especially hilarious is that, I think I mentioned this a while ago, but people apparently saying that Nintendo hasn't done anything rude or whatever as of late. It's like, do people not remember when they basically struck down Yuzu emulators, or even people getting mad at Nintendo again for basically doing the same thing with Gmods of all things? I think that's what it's called, Gmods or some shit. The thing for that PC game that's basically a Half-Life 2 modding sim or some shit. Gary's Mod, I think that's what it's called. It's basically a Half-Life 2 sandbox Monopoly or some shit. And also, while I'm not exactly keen on Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, I personally prefer Super Paper Mario, but that's another story. If the original GameCube release ran at 60 frames per second, then I believe that the Switch version should. But to give the porters credit, they actually tried explaining why they couldn't. And it's not just some random Joe Schmo trying to, mansplain it out of it. But they can have fun with that if they want to, but I'm not going to really be bothering with that. I guess for the sake of frame rate, they're making the game faithful, I guess, so whatever. And there's already been, it's not even the first time something like that's happened, especially with, one of the Tales of games basically having the similar fate, so that's always nice. Apparently I can't even buy ammo from this, you can only buy the weapon itself. That's nice. I think you have to buy ammo through other means, I think. I think there's some pickup you have to go to do that. I forget. But yeah, I also like it as an actual health bar in this game, which would make Call of Duty games infinitely more enjoyable if they had that. And not to mention that the side mode's actually okay. It's just, it's Call of Duty, so it's still kind of shitty. I have still no fucking ammo for this. Holy crap. I'll buy this, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, it's just insane how people will defend the fuck out of things. It's really absurd. Shit, I picked the wrong one. Oh wait, never mind. Alright, let's do this. This is a level up, so this should be interesting. Yeah, that's what makes me sick. It's like people want to have arguments over Dark Souls and stuff, and they act legitimately fanboyism, but yet I'm trying to be as reasonable as I can. I have my reasons for not wanting to play the game, but it's just like it's ridiculous. Like, even with Celebrate, I'm just not interested in that game. I'm not trying to be fanboys. I just don't have interest in playing it. It's not because, oh, the women is sexual. No, I just don't care for the gameplay. It's kind of why I played Senran Kagura, actually, is just because I rather play a game I actually wanted to play, and I didn't end up hating it. But then playing Nioh, and it's like, wow, I can't fucking stand this game. I try to play games that I know I'm going to hate. It's just like, I actually want to try and enjoy it, and if I don't, then I don't. And if I do, I do. Like, even playing something like Akiba's Trip Undead and Undressed, I fucking loved it. Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but I can still see the things I liked about it. But then I played the original game, it's like, wow, this game kind of fucking sucks. There's a lot of great things about it, but there's also a lot of things I fucking hate about it, so what the hell? Now, for a fanboy, I would say both games are completely perfect and are completely deserving of their own awards. Which I don't want to fucking live like that. That's just way too unhealthy. But I guess it makes you a fanboy because you're not exactly kissing the game's ass, which is kind of ironic because kissing the game's ass and not saying anything mean about it is kind of fanboy mentality. I can see the appeal of Baldur's Gate 3, but I'm just like, I don't know. I would probably play something like Satellite Rain. I think that's what the game is called. The only problem, though, is that it's not exactly as commonly known compared to whatever. But I hear it's local multiplayer, which is definitely a good thing. It's just I don't know if it's handled well, though. That's the thing. That might be a reason I could try getting into it, but with BioWare lately, it's just ugh. But you can play it offline, and if it has local play, which I hear adds it, whatever, it could be cool, but it's just, I don't know. I don't know how good the local multiplayer experience would be, if it even has it. Or if they patch out, whatever. I don't even know. I think I read up a PC Gaming Wiki that has it. I don't know. I guess I could check, but I don't want my game to get fucked up. Yeah, especially after Mass Effect Andromeda, it's just, might as well replay the original trilogy again. Or maybe just skip the second game altogether, just pretend the third never happened. Had to wait for fucking Patrick just for the game to be fucking remotely excusable, I guess. That's also kind of a way, like, I'm annoyed at Elden Ring, because it's like, even something like the Ring Cities, once they fucking hate the Slave Knight Gale fight, it ended the series, at least to me, on a good note, in that it was supposed to be the last one. Like, I'm okay with a game series ending, but then it's like when you come out with something that's basically the same shit, it's like, wow, it kind of makes DSP right in that one specific instance. I don't know, it's just annoying. I mean, I know he's kind of a shithead, but there are very few things I feel that he's right on. Mainly with the speed of the Super Turbo port not being arcade perfect, but it is emulated, so it is to be expected. But the fact that he complains about that is kind of silly. But trying to be as fair and reasonable as possible, but, you know, what's being fair and possible, right? But, whatever. It's like the one thing I'll give him. And that, I think he also mentioned something about Metroid Prime not having a story or whatever, which would be true, except he should have said that for Dark Souls. It would actually have been completely on the nose. But he said that for Metroid Prime of all things, which is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, Sister Friedford phase was fucking terrible. The only good thing about that fight is the runback. The runback is pretty much non-existent, which should be like that for all the bosses in these games. Even the Royal Rat bosses in Dark Souls 2, which are some of the most shittiest bosses known to the series, has non-existent runbacks, and yet actually better bosses like Royal Aegis, whatever the fuck, has a really, really shitty runback. Doubly that if you have to fight Vendrick. I also have people complain about the Lost Bastille having way too many bonfires, but it's like, I think they're placed out in a more appropriate fashion. It's not that it's, what the hell is it? What the hell is that area with, the boss you fight in Dark Souls 3, the Dragon Knight armor? Dragon Slayer? I forget his name. The shield dude? I would say that's kind of a shitty bonfire place because you get one literally right after the boss, but that's just more of an oversight in developers, not compensating the fact that they literally give you a bonfire after every boss you fight. They didn't think that, oh, maybe we shouldn't put a bonfire right next to the area, knowing that you're going to get a free one anyway after fighting a boss. Which is technically taken from Demon Souls, by the way, so it's not even unique in the fact. And I think even Bloodborne kind of did the same thing, I think. where after you fight, what's his face, you basically get a free bonfire, so. I don't think all the bosses did, though. I think only some of them did, but still. It's just kind of weird. I wouldn't be surprised if Elden Ring does the same thing, but again, I just have no interest playing a open world game that plays like a Souls game. And even if Cellblade is the easier of the two, the fact that it is still a open world game or whatever, it's just not that. This doesn't sound like a fun time. And even knowing that Code Vein is kind of like that, but okay, I wouldn't exactly call it open world, but its level design is more on point with Dark Souls 2, with having linear levels, but still having decent shortcuts and stuff, and actually have a fucking map on screen, and actually having a CPU ally that you can rely on for the most part is actually more enjoyable than playing anything remotely from software related these days. I'd say the game is perfect as well, but people just basically brush off as anime Dark Souls, which is funny, because isn't Dark Souls inspired by Berserk, which is fucking anime? So at this point, you might as well be calling fucking Dark Souls Western Berserk. So, that's just kind of a shitty argument, honestly, for Code Vein. I get why people don't like the game, because I can see some people not liking it. And even, what's-his-face? I forget his name. He did, like, boss rankings and stuff. He did Dark Souls content for quite some time. But he basically implied that playing the game without summons is the only way to play the game, which is just kind of shitty. I mean, you technically could, but you can also play Dark Souls using only your bare hands and weapons, and it's just not the way to go. They literally put that in there for a reason, and if you don't use it, that's kind of your own fault. Also, I'm pretty sure it's one of the few games I can think of where you can actually shut up the conversation so you don't have to hear them saying stupid shit. It's like, yeah, if you want to have them, talk or whatever, you can, but if you don't want to hear their nonsense, you can just shut them up with a push of a button. And it also has both English and Japanese dubs, so good for those who prefer playing games in Japanese, I guess. So I don't know what the fuck people want, honestly. Might try to go to rank 16 so I can unlock the final pistol. Although for some reason the Magnum is probably the better choice, especially since the tooth upgrades, you basically get more use out of, I guess, which is kind of weird. I don't know why I have Team Booster. I'm gonna go with armor. And, I'll go with, I'll leave incendiary ammo. Shit, where do I go for the... Oh, here we go, armory. Here we go. Yeah, some of these upgrades are kind of low-key silly, which I don't understand. And you barely get any. They're, like, RNG related. It's ridiculous. Like, I think one of them is, like, at the very bottom. You have double classes, which is, like, 1,000 teeth. Like, are you fucking kidding me? At least to give credit, though, I don't believe they're tied to microtransactions, but it's just fucking ridiculous on how much fucking teeth you need just to get something that's actually good. It's just fucking weird. Yeah, that's the thing I feel with games like Nioh in the point. I know it sounds kind of scrub quotes material, but it's just like there are legit enemies in all the games I feel that just do not abide by the rules. But even if you bring that up in the most reasonable way possible, people still call you a scrub. It's just fucking dumb. So the only thing people can fucking agree on is Bed of Chaos and whatever boss, Kappa Demon. But yet that boss is literally reused in Elden Ring for no fucking reason. Kappa Demon is literally in Elden Ring, and it's like, why would they bring back the worst fucking boss in the game in Dark Souls 1 pre-Lord Vessel? There's not even an explanation for it. It's just he's just there in a completely different skin. Oh, but Dark Souls doesn't reuse assets or whatever. Or Elden Ring. It's just fucking stupid. It's not even a good throwback either. It's not even a From Software staple like with patches to Moonlight Greatsword. It's just there because why not? It took with Ed and Eddie. Sure, why not? It's not like in Kingdom Hearts where Sephiroth was like a super secret boss or anything. It's just no. Here's Kappa Demon 2.0 in a game that's totally not Dark Souls, guys. But if it were another game, people would be fucking annoyed at it that they're basically stealing from software. But even with games like Doom and Quake that are basically identical and play almost exactly the same, at least Quake doesn't pride itself on being a game that reuses assets in the most annoying way possible and is technically plays like Doom or whatever. It actually is much more different compared to Dark Souls and Elden Ring. But I'll digress on that a million %. I don't want to have that fucking conversation with assets in such ways. But those enemies in Dragon Keep, I think it's called, the secret dragon area, there is these stone dudes. If you use magic, they're not a problem. But if you use physical attacks, they just have ridiculous defenses, and it's just annoying. Also, speaking of enemies that don't need to be there, why the hell are there random moonlight butterflies in crystal caves for no reason? They don't even drop blue slabs or anything, so it's just pointless. But I don't know. It's I might try getting into Dark Souls 2 on PS4 again because I know one of my friends has been trying to play Fortnite quite a bit just so that he can gain YouTube money and gain PS Plus. I guess for lore reasons it makes sense, but the Moonlight Butterflies are just annoying to fight, period. And they're not even worth fighting for loot or anything. It's just annoying. I also don't know why the hell there's like invisible platforms in that area. It's not even like there's a thing that lets you revive them or anything. It's just there, or revive. Wow, I can't even speak. But no lore will justify bad gameplay mechanics, like legit. Like people have tried to justify the lore for Frigate Outskirts and that the place was set as like a punishment order, but it does not justify the fact that that DLC area is just annoying. The shittiest boss or the shittiest challenge area in Dark Souls 2, the Frigate Outskirts, is somehow justified because the lore dictates. It's just fucking stupid. I mean, yes, it makes it interesting, but with that fucking logic, the Bed of Chaos would be considered some of the best boss in the game because the lore is interesting, or that it makes you think. Well, it doesn't change in gameplay mechanics, it's just a really shitty boss. Dragon God is infinitely better. And only better just because of the run back. Yes, it's annoying that you die to bullshit, but you don't have to spend like 5 minutes getting back to the fucker. If there was like a hidden bonfire right before Bed of Chaos, I guarantee there would not be nowhere near as many complaints about that fucking fight. I guarantee it. I mean, yeah, it'd be really fucking dumb and stupid, but even just ending that one bonfire would make a huge difference. But what do I know? It's almost as if these retry points actually can make or break a boss fight or something. I guess I'll try these, I guess. Yeah, that's the thing. It's they're basically reskins. There's no getting around it. They're basically the exact same fight. It's just ×2. except that one only comes out after you damage the other enough, and that I think one has an area of effect move, and that's basically it's the same fucking fight. And people are fine with Elden Ring having like how many fucking bosses and recycle them to the fucking wazoo and shit. Does Breath of the Wild even recycle as many bosses as Elden Ring? I'm actually curious. I think there's like a fight way early on in Breath of the Wild that's basically like a mini Shadow Colossus moment. But it's like... people give so much justification for Elden Ring recycling bosses because it needs those boss fights. No, it doesn't. It does not need so many fucking recycled boss fights. And if they want to recycle, for the love of God, at least fucking make it interesting. Like, people want to give developers so much shit for cutting corners, but it's just like... I can't excuse a game that cuts corners that fucking hard, dude. Like, legit. If you want to defend the game to the ends of the earth, well, be my guest, but it's just like... I don't mind developers, like, repurposing assets or whatever to make it more interesting. Like with... I know it's going to sound really fucking stupid, but with this game that I'm playing right now, obviously, yes, it has the skin and bones or whatever of Call of Duty, but it reuses set purposes to make it interesting. Now, obviously, yes, the enemies are unique. You haven't really fought anything like it. Yes, it's still a zombies mode here and there, but at least they tried to make it interesting. Like, you're actually doing things that aren't necessarily the exact same thing you're doing. Like with Infinite Warfare's version of zombies, it's just basically the same thing as Treyarch's. It's just that it has an 80s vibes going and that they use power-ups slightly differently or whatever. Or that Treyarch's versions of Black Ops 3 Zombies is basically the exact same thing as the other ones. It's just that it has gobblegum mechanics or whatever and extra perks added to the flare. Like, obviously, yes, it's Call of Duty at the end of the day, but at least with this mode specifically, it does stand out slightly. Not to get English like we're still being Call of Duty, but it at least gets points for actually trying to do something different. If that makes any iota of sense. Even just with the jump in level progression between Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 is more than enough to distinguish it, especially with all the changes that's made for the combat for Dark Souls 2 to make it stand out from Dark Souls 1. But Dark Souls 3, it just feels like they try to take ideas and mash them together into something that just feels really weird. Like, not being able to upgrade armor like with Demon Souls, not being able to, no longer having finite magic uses, which is something that was really dumb in Dark Souls 1 and 2. But kind of made sense, but it was also a thing in Demon Souls where... or not Demon Souls, excuse me. Demon Souls had the magic meter, and then it was brought back in Dark Souls 3, so whatever. It's like, in that instance, I don't mind, but it's like... When you start recycling content to the point that you literally have the Black Knights that make a return in Dark Souls 3 because why not, and doesn't even have the proper death cry, when I think one of the enemies in the church area have it, it's just really fucking stupid. It's not even consistent in that manner. It's just, it really annoyed me. Like, they can't even have proper throwbacks correctly. And I think the Elan Knights in Dark Souls 2 would have the same death cry for some reason as the Black Knights, and yet when they return in Dark Souls 3, they don't have it at all. It's like with the Kevin Smith's version of He-Man, where they have fucking Joker, Mark Hamill as Joker in playing Skeletor, but yet they have the dude who's basically voiced Skeletor since the late 80s or whatever, voicing someone completely different. It's like with Gray Fox and Twin Snakes, who was voiced by the same actor that actually voiced Carl from Jimmy Neutron of all things, but having the dude who voiced Gray Fox doing someone completely different. It's really, really absurd and kind of stupid. And I've only known of that fact just because I saw it on Twitter engagement bait post where it shows same voice actor and it shows Gray Fox from Twin Snakes and Carl from Jimmy Neutron. So that's always fucking wholesome. But even with something like Sonic Origins having similar UI to Sonic Mania, I don't consider it reusing assets in a way to get annoyed at stuff like Elden Ring. But it's like, when you have Kappa Demons literally for no reason in a game that's not even Dark Souls, it's just fucking stupid. Something like, I think I mentioned this, it's not like a Kingdom Hearts where you fight Sephiroth as a super secret boss. It's like, holy shit! But it's just there because it's Dark Souls, and it's acceptable, I guess. If any other company does it, send to the cross. That's certainly not fucking fair. Double standards, pretty much. And I wouldn't mind it if they at least actually acknowledged it. Like, obviously, yes, From Software has put out quality stuff, but they're no better when it comes to complacement. So, let's just hope that after the Elden Ring deals, they can actually do something different. At least I'm more interested in playing Armored Core than Elden Ring, but I don't know if the way that Armored Core plays is going to be the way that I'd liked it, but we'll have to see. That's going to be for another day, though. Anyway, I think it's time I play some OG Modern Warfare 2. See if we can get some games in there. I'm just not really fair that I can't pause in the game or whatever, which I guess kind of makes sense for playing online, but it's just not really digging it. So, I'm a little rusty at it, to be honest, but at least I think I did okay. I haven't played it in a while. But I'll go ahead and do some Modern Warfare 2. Hopefully the servers work. Yeah, of course. Like, I felt completely how I felt with stuff like I did in that Akiba's ship video, where I was talking about Stellar Blade. Maybe I could have worded it better, but I'm just like, I did have issues when I played through Undead and Undressed, but seeing the difference between the first game and the second game, there are some actual improvements. But the main reason I was interested in the game, besides the whole fan service, is that literally any weapon or clothing you find, you can acquire for yourself. Which is kind of like Dead Rising in a way, without the shitty escorts. It's like, holy shit, this person's wearing a biking helmet? Fuck that, I'm gonna get that for myself. And I just find that really rewarding. So that's why I was interested in it. The premise may seem silly, I'm not gonna lie, but the gameplay definitely more than makes up for it. So there's something interesting in playing Yakuza, or how people say Yakuza for some reason. I guess that's technically how you say it, but I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the game being Escort City. But I guess people hated Dead Rising 4 because they removed the time limit and stuff, but I don't know. People are weird, I guess. Also, wasn't it basically an Xbox 360 exclusive? I mean, yeah, it is the Wii version, but that's one of those watered-down ports during the time when the Wii barely got any respect. And having really shitty forced motion controls. If there was a way to mod the PC version that removes the damage over time for the unlimited, I would play the fuck out of it. I know it seems like really shitty, but I want to play Dead Rising the way that doesn't require the stupid time limit. Also, not to mention that apparently some of the achievements for the original are so fucking crazy that it would basically break your system if you actually tried to do it. Like, it was insane. And I guess nobody's playing this tonight. That or I'm just not looking... Oh, there we go. It at least had better combat than Resident Evil 4, let's be honest. Like, I think it can actually move and shoot, I believe. Or something like that. It's just that the whole game was basically Escort City. It's like the worst parts of Resident Evil 4 all wrapped around. And the fact that you're basically meant to die over and over again is really annoying. And I've also read up that Left Alive is basically like that, where you basically have to play the game enough to gain skill points to be able to endure the game again. Like, it's one of those shitty things of roguelikes, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Except Left Alive was basically made by Square or whatever, and they took the worst part of Dead Rising and made it into a fucking mess. I guess people excuse it because I guess it was new, but it doesn't change the fact it was a 360 exclusive. People fucking defended the fuck out of it. It's a game that definitely didn't age that well. At least it got remastered though, and they finally fixed the saving system, but it was so fucking annoying to only have one save at a time. Especially for a game like that. It was really fucking stupid. But I don't think Capcom will need to remake it either. There's already a remaster. People want to deal with the shitty version, whatever. At least make Dead Rising 3 and 4 multi-platform correctly, and having the content that's apparently not on the PC version of 3. Which that really weird Capcom collaboration DLC, whatever. I forget what it's called, but it's basically this really weird mode where there's a bunch of Capcom characters and you dressed up as them from Dead Rising 3 or something. For some reason, it never got released on PC, but yet is on Xbox. It's really fucking fishy. Oh, but sure, exclusives are whatever. I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not really a fan of Resident Evil 5, by the way. I do agree it was technically an evolution of what Resident Evil 4 did. Like, people would think that 5 is somehow really bad, besides the whole bullshit with the thing that Jacksepticeye said, and now people are gonna fucking parrot that for a fucking month, I bet. But if there was a thing where the old tactics you did in the original didn't work anymore, people defend it. Because Resident Evil 5 did it, it's suddenly shitty. And I think one of the better examples of that is when you have to deal with the wave base of enemies for the first time. I know that in Resident Evil 4 you could kick the ladders and the Spanish dudes didn't get to you. But the fact that the black man can actually jump this time, you kind of have to rethink your tactics. So I think, from a designer standpoint, Capcom put those ladders there thinking that people would use the ladders again, except that tactic no longer works, so you actually have to mix up your patterns now. But I guess people would find to make that into a complaint, even though games kind of show in ways that maybe you have to mix up your strategies because it doesn't work like that. Like, I've actually legit given that some thought, and I think that's what Capcom was going for with that segment of the game, as kind of shitty as it is in a new run, but still. Especially those that played Resident Evil 4 to death and back. It's like, oh, there's a ladder here. Let me kick it. Oh, fuck, it doesn't work anymore. What the fuck do I do? It's almost as if the enemies in Resident Evil 5 are more advanced than the ones in Resident Evil 4 or something. Now, yeah, you still have the shitty tank control third-person gameplay combat, but at least the game has a level select. You can carry your equipment between levels or whatever, so there is technically a light grind or whatever, but it still has more replay value than 4, but it's also annoying like 4, but at least you can actually have Sheva be remotely useful, and with the one mission which protected Josh, kind of felt like you're protecting Ashley, but it's not that he overstays his welcome, and actually has plot relevance instead of just rescuing the president's daughter like it's Die Hard Arcade. But what the fuck do I know? Hello, Prophecy Zach. I'm playing Modern Warfare 2. I don't know if you saw me playing COD Ghosts Extinction, but I actually played it, and I reached rank 16. But I'm bitching and complaining about Resident Evil 5 right now. Honestly, considering how there's a bunch of propaganda pushing bullshit, I think Sheva and Josh are pretty decent examples of how to actually create characters that aren't exactly propaganda pushing. It actually felt natural too. I think someone brought up the interaction between Lando and Leia from Star Wars. Like, people don't care that Lando was black. They care because he's actually a developed character and it makes sense. If that makes any iota of sense at all. Honestly, I don't mind the Resident Evil 5 inventory system, because for one, it kind of goes back to the original. I mean, it is kind of annoying that you can't pause the game during it, but it's not like there's a time and a place for such things. You can also do inventory combined reload, which is something you couldn't do in Resident Evil 4. I don't know if you can do that for the remake, but I don't know why they couldn't even let you do that at the very least. Like, that was a thing that since the very original Resident Evil, they took it out in the best game ever. I really want an explanation for that. Like, is it a safety net for people who can't reload during combat? Then why are you able to open up the inventory in Resident Evil 4 or whatever? Yeah, it was just a really dumb discourse back then, and it's resurfaced way too many times, honestly. It's gotten too many second chances. Like, I didn't even care about this sort of thing. I'm just, okay, we have the BSA division in Africa. It's whatever. And they're not, the writing isn't propaganda pushing, so whatever. It's just crap. Like, people complain about Sheva's ass shot in Resident Evil 5, but they don't mind Ada's ass shot in Resident Evil 4, or boob shot, whatever. Like, are people gonna be really that fucking dumb? It's like, oh my god, the first shot of fucking... People have been doing this even with, what is it, Zero Suit Samus in Super Smash Bros. Brawl? Which is basically a fucking fetish at this point. People legit take that one outfit and use it on anything. It's kind of ridiculous. But I'm not going to talk about that. I don't want to turn this into an NC-17 stream or anything, but it's just like, what the fuck? Also, I really wish Nintendo would actually bring back the other suits that they made for Samus. She had more than just the Zero suit, but I'll digress. Like, I guess somebody remembered the outfit that she had in Metroid 3, or Super Metroid, excuse me, or even Metroid Fusion, or anything of the sort. The Fusion suit is basically fetish porn for Nintendo. I think we can all agree to that. Fuck you! It's like in that clip from Scarface. Oh, good. Got one of these people. Amazing. I mean, it's silly, but it's not worth raging over, honestly. Except the first time it happened, because it's just like, what the fuck. And yes, no need to remind that people do that to get medals or whatever. It's still ridiculous, but it's whatever. People are just like that. Not gonna be all that, oh, it's bullshit. It's just like, really? Oh, well. But yeah, I feel that RE5 is an improvement to 4, but it's still not a game I necessarily go back and play. But at least I want to, I can. Whereas in 4, you have to... there's not even like a proper level select or anything. I didn't want Capcom to remake Resident Evil 5 first of all, because it'd be fucking a waste of resources. And it would basically be trying to cash in on the success that Resident Evil 4 remake did. I guess somebody learned from Resident Evil 3, where that was like the worst remake ever done by Capcom at that point. It literally made in less than a year, I think, compared to the other one. I mean, you can definitely tell that there was effort put into Resident Evil 2 remake, but I think even purists of the original basically said that it was inferior or whatever, so... a lot of remakes are like that, sadly, but whatever. I'm not going to get into that, because that's way too specific. But it's like... I still understand why games like Final Fantasy VII can have the remake as shitty as they are, but you can literally play the original on almost any modern platform nowadays. You can literally fix most of the world's problems by doing exactly that. But I guess not. I mean, yeah, you have people being up, oh, there's too many remakes or remasters, or it's like... But at least in the case of something like Final Fantasy VII being playable on most other systems, whatever, you at least have a way to play the better game compared to spending $70 on a remake of a game that has been long anticipating to be remade, but yet just turns out to be a complete dumpster fire, whether you're a purist for the game or not. But like I said, the writing that's kind of a specific issue or deals for varying reasons, but for gameplay purposes, I don't know. I kind of prefer the original Final Fantasy games anyway, if I were to personally play them. Mainly stuff like Final Fantasy 1 through 6, if I was in the Final Fantasy mood. Or anything like Octopath Traveler, which that is probably the only remotely interesting RPG I've played in recent memory. Wow. Yeah, Resident Evil 3 Remake should have not done what they did. It should have been like, I don't know if it should have been like standalone DLC for Resident Evil 2 or something. I don't even know. They definitely cashed the fuck out of it, though, and I don't want to do Resident Evil 5 and 6. Like, you could argue that the writing in Resident Evil 6 is shitty, but it is technically an evolution of what the gameplay has been from prior, with them actually refining the combat to make it more accessible. Like, you're still doing the things that you've done in Resident Evil 5 or 4, 5, and 6 anyway. It's just now you have stamina engagement, so that you can't do that shit over and over again. Like, isn't that what the whole point of the balance is or whatever? And if I want my Resident Evil 4 fix anyway, I'll just play Dead Space. That game, to me, does everything Resident Evil 4... Dead Space does everything that Resident Evil 4 should have been. It actually lets you move in different directions and shoot, and it still has that third-person, over-the-shoulder gameplay, while still being a survival horror with inventory management. And not having the Deus Ex inventory system that's kind of pointless, in my opinion. When you really think about it, the shop system is basically the mercenary, the shopkeeper, but without the wit and charm. And the whole gameplay is basically Resident Evil 4, but it's, you know, in space. So, I don't know. It's, that's just the way I see it, personally. Like, I don't mind them going full-on combat, but just the fact that Resident Evil 4 still had those awful tank controls from the older games just kind of ruined it for me. Like, imagine if Rockstar made Grand Theft Auto 3 but still having tank controls from GTA 2. People would be fucking fuming. Like, imagine playing Grand Theft Auto 3 with tank controls. That'd be fucking miserable. I don't think anyone wants to play a game like Grand Theft Auto with tank controls. But I guess you'd be okay with it in Resident Evil 4 because it was ahead of its time. Which is kind of a stupid argument, but whatever. Alright, mister. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. I'll do one on Monday, because obviously Sunday is a day to be spent with mothers. Or family members that are considered female guardian equivalent of a mother. So, hopefully have a good rest of your weekend and a good Mother's Day. Now that that's done, I am going to go ahead and hopefully try to not suck. And I might do one other game, I think. I might try to level up once in Infinite Warfare Zombies. If I even have it written down. Yeah, I did. Crap. Oh well. No reason to hold back out now. But I definitely do want to get the attachments to this before I head on out at least. I also got a DM, but I'm going to read that after the match, or at least the next time I get a kill cam. Just going to read it now. Alright, assuming you're still in the chat, Prophecy, you can still say something. Engaging in conversation will definitely make it a lot less dull. But yeah, so I was talking about Resident Evil 5 and other sorts of things. So so... Oh. But anyway, you didn't really miss much. Just playing Nioh 2, beat a boss, did some tutorial stuff, because apparently there's an award for doing those. You can unlock more skill points and stuff. Did next tutorials, got to a new area, got my ass kicked. Played 2 rounds of Ghosts, Zombies, or whatever, Extinction. Leveled up twice, I made a lot of progress. Spent the points on the T for fire rounds. Probably should have spent that, but oh well. And now I'm playing this, as you probably saw from earlier. So I'll do this for a little bit more. I'll do some Infinite Warfare Zombies. I'll probably play that to level 1, so I'm probably going to go to bed. I don't have sound on, by the way, so if I do really good or really bad, you might know why. Oh. Wow, that's something. It's something. That's all I can say, it's just something. Oh, good. Is this dude gonna use a nuke? When I see Chopper Gunner, 9 times out of 10, it's a nuke. I like how I'm right in front of him and he doesn't even notice me. That's funny. Yeah, this dude's going for a nuke. Unless his death thing... Oh, wait. No, I was reading this as well. Okay, good. He died, I think. I don't know. Damn it, I can't even tell now. Wow. Oh, well. Oh, whatever. Alright, back to the other weapon. Gonna try to get ACOG for the... Not A... Yeah, ACOG. Yeah, ACOG. And then Thermal, and then I'll use RPD for the next couple sessions. Awesome. Screw your mother, screw your dad. No, do not leave the game, no. I don't want to leave after that. That'll be very shitty. That could be for a great out of context quote, honestly. I probably should clip it just for out of context purposes. But I lastly lost. Oh god, it's SA. If this doesn't get skipped, I'm gonna quit. No reason to play this awful level. I need 2 more kills with that son of a B. Thermal. Still need 5 headshots of that. Are you kidding? No one's gonna skip this? No, no one's skipping it. Wow. Oh, thank God. Okay, good. Got a much better map. A close quarters one, so this might be perfect to use the shotgun, I think. So let's go ahead and switch it over. Oh, you don't like estate, but you mind under... No. What did he say? You don't like estate, but you don't mind underpass? Well, yeah. Not to sound rude, but it's called preference. We all have them. Alright, let's go. Wow. C4. Alright, doing good on capturing. Very nice. Probably gonna shot in the face now. Ha! Screw you. Got it. Wow. Alright, let me try to focus now. It's playing a little low-key sloppy, I think. Yeah, I think somebody's hiding. There we go. Ow. Oh, gee. Oh, I didn't mean to skip that. Wow, that is depressing. I did the worst thing possible, skipping a kill cam that's not from a sniper, but from a knife. That is depressing. I am so sorry. I have failed the... Alright. Let's get this last kill, and I'll switch over to the other weapon and enjoy my shotgun for a little bit, if I can. Ha! Alright. Yeah, let's probably use shotgun in this level, because why not? Alright. What the fuck? Okay. Wow, I actually had a hit marker. Holy crap. Wow, he got me right there. Jesus. Yep. Wow, the range on this is actually terrible. Holy crap, it is actually awful. Oh, okay, here we go. I can actually show this. Whew. Damn. Alright. I'll give credit. Then it's the second time he killed me, though. When I saw it, I was like, oh shit, I actually have the knife, so... I'll show my humiliation and shame. It is only the right thing to do. Oh! Landing right on top of me. Damn. Nope. Oh, you're just a shield? Okay, after you. Damn. Alright. Damn, it's the second time I missed that. Are you kidding me? Alright, King, thank you. I might do another game, I think, after the next one or two, depending on how I feel. You did miss quite a bit of it, though, but I don't blame you. I just hope your grind is paying off, too. I'll see about that. I'm probably not going to do one tomorrow, though, because obviously it's Mother's Day, and obviously you want to spend time with mothers, or female equivalent of guardian and such. Well, of course. Just be ready for next Saturday, though. That's all I'm saying. Wow. Shotgun range on that is terrible, and I couldn't even get the kill from it. Phenomenal. I can imagine the clip from Street Fighter 3 with the announcer. Yeah, that makes sense. It was apparently sampled from the 60s Batman with, to the Batmobile, let's go! I guess it makes sense. But I didn't really get the connection until people started pointing it out. Okay, this I kinda have to see that. It's just like it's thrown to the... up. Well, my end, it definitely looked a lot more funnier than that. That's why kill cam latency is bullshit. It looked like I was flying, son. Like, flying. Like, Mario World flying. I might do one on Monday, though, but not tomorrow. At least they're winning, which is good. Let's hope it stays that way. Wow, he got me right then and there. Alright, let's, try to get a good mixture of, kills of this and kills of that, just for attachment purposes. Which I'm fine for, because a lot of the newer CODs have this really obnoxious challenge system or whatever, and it's just ridiculous. They're basically challenges that you see from, getting titles and stuff for, but I don't know, they really try to make it way too overly complicated with weapon attachments or whatever in later games. Like, imagine trying to get 7 kills in a row without dying just to unlock, like, an attachment that's not even that good. Like, what the hell? At least this game kept it pretty simple. I'm really mad it was an assist, by the way, but I'll digress. Like, that's the thing that kind of annoys me, is that I'm trying to get unlocks and I only get assists because they don't count for shit. Like, right then and there, that should have been mine. God damn it. Well, at least I'm about to win, so I'll take the win for that. Woot! Yahoot! Alright. Wow, I actually didn't do terrible, surprisingly. But alright, that's enough of that. Enough of that mess. $65, $66. So both are about the same. Oh, I went past the number. Son of a D. Oh, it changed to that one. Okay, well, that's fine. Alright, that should be good. Hopefully I will be able to get the thermal for that. I guess I'll focus on the RPD this match. So definitely want to get explosive rounds for the memes. So alternate the other ones in between others, I guess. I'll alternate between them, depending on progress. One thing I do like about with the modern CODs, they can actually modify a little, literally on the fly. It's basically big-brained version of what No Man Army is, except it's a lot more annoying. But it's just too bad that it's in a game that's basically online only, because it actually does sound pretty alright. You can basically modify your class literally on the spot. I think that actually sounds pretty interesting. Yeah, and also if you see me slowing down here or there, I'm messaging someone, so don't mind it. At least it's not like that one time with Discord and shit, but it's at least it's an interesting conversation. We're not going to go into it because that'll be rude. So, have fun with that. Yeah, this will probably be my last game for this, and I'll probably do some Infinite Warfare Zombies, and then I'll be done. Wow, this dude took advantage of the fact that I couldn't move at all, and I still died. Amazing. I'm actually more mad about that. Seriously, I cannot believe Mr. Sparrow complained about all the dumbest shit. It's like, that is legitimately a scrub thing to complain about. My controller is fucked up, and the fact that this scrub was able to get a win on me, that is some bullshit. Like, you actually complain about that. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, of all the dumbest things to complain about is that you're playing against an online opponent and that your controller still happens to mess up. Like, what an actual scrubby thing to say, Mr. Scholar. Like, what the fuck? I mean, yeah, we get it. Controller mishaps happen all the time, but you claim to be the greatest fighting game player who cannot fathom the fact that people can beat you in an easy-ass game and you're gonna basically go on about such things. Are you fucking kidding? Oh, you're just supposed to wait for the king and I to fucking wait for your controller to get randomly fixed. Like, are you actually fucking kidding me right now? Maybe stop slamming your damn controller and maybe shit like that won't happen. And if you didn't do that and the controller's just faulty, then fine, you can blame Sony. But are you actually fucking kidding me? Like, of course people are going to take advantage of that when you're playing online. They don't give a shit. I don't even think they know. I don't even think they give a shit. It's just a free win for them, basically. And that's your fault for not taking precautions in that manner. Like, what the fuck? Like, that is just legitimately a stupid thing to complain about. Like, holy Jesus. I'll probably play some Cyber Kagura after this, or after I'm done with Infinite Warfare. I want to try to wrap up that game too. I don't know if I'll stream it though when I come back on Monday. There we go. Ah, oh, piss. Oh well. Wait, I'm gonna get off this game after. At least I made some good progress. I'm not gonna lie, but it's kind of getting burnt down playing into the people. I can only really put up with so much, to be honest, and this is just not exactly my idea of fun, I guess. I guess for streaming purposes, it's not completely terrible, but still, it's just how I feel. Alright, sounds good. Hopefully you're enjoying your food. About to switch over to Infinite Warfare Zombies after this game, so provided that no nukes are launched, I'll take my weapons in grace. Oh yeah, in case you're wondering, you cannot use tactical inserts in Black Ops. I guess technically because it's a thing you activate the D-pad. I guess it doesn't work. There's also apparently the last game to have that sort of perk in actual multiplayer engagements. I guess people just got fed up with it. It just makes sense, but you know. Was there like a lot of actual more annoying perks way after Modern Warfare 3 and the like? That pales in comparison to the likes of Martyrdom or whatever. Who knows? Oh. Oh, hey, I captured it somehow. I will probably start doing Dead Island 2 once I reach the level cap. Slowly but surely I'm getting there, though, as I get exploded on, which is amazing. I'm kind of disappointed with that game, to be honest. Like, I just hate how simplistically designed it is. It's just something about the game design that I'm just not enjoying. At least in Dead Island 1, the design makes sense. I mean, there's some things there that annoy me, but it's not that... Oh, it's, easy mode, I guess. Dead Island 2 is basically easy mode. I also legitimately cannot stand that people want to cry about easy mode for games that don't even need it. And the main excuse is that the easy mode might help people who aren't very good at games or whatever in general. Which would make sense, except if the game doesn't have it, then fucking deal with it. And if you can't deal with it, then don't fucking play it. Like, even games like Dead Island literally only has one difficulty, to my knowledge, and it's the most easiest shit ever. Like, even a caveman can play it. At least compared to Dead Island 1. It's like, you see that stupid discourse all the time with Call of Duty, and it's just fucking not Call of Duty, excuse me, I'm very sorry. Dark Souls, and it's fucking dumb. You probably could be seeing people do the same shit with Nioh 2, and I fucking hate the game. I'm not gonna cry it needs an easy mode. I just fucking deal with it, or try to make progress, or I just move on to something else. Because I just want to design it in the way that they did. Shittily, of course, but that's the way they designed it. Can't take that away from them. But what do I know? I also have a message, so I'm going to have to be somewhat AFK, so if I die, I'm blaming you, King. Okay. Well, I was going to die anyway, I was just being an asshole, but still. Wow, and that's what I get for being an asshole. Literal karma. Envisioned in Call of Duty. And that's a wrap. At least I'm making progress. I barely got any kills. Barely. And yeah, I was still on top of the leaderboard because I was playing objective. Phenomenal. Or at least on my team, but it's whatever. But yeah, that's Modern Warfare 2 for you. Broken, but in the right kind, I guess. That's fun for everyone, I guess, but... At least I'm almost done with the attachment grind, and I can probably never play this again unless I feel like doing the other stuff. Y'all have fun Invasion. I'm gonna switch over to Infinite Warfare for a while. And once I level up or get annoyed at it, whichever comes first, I'll probably get off. And I'll probably play some Semra Kagura off stream because I want to try to finish up that game. I haven't played it in a couple days actually. I'm gonna just wait a minute or two before I switch back. But yeah, people go on about easy mode in games like it's just fucking stupid. Oh shit, I forgot to mention this to the regular. There's some streamer I guess that played Elden Ring and he was like legitimately crying. Like is this supposed to be like the slowest news day in the world? Or whatever. But wait, I think I actually recognize this username. Wasn't this the dude that did that PlayStation scam or some shit? Oh shit, it is the same dude. The same dude who fucking did that bullshit with the PS5 scams is literally crying about losing an Elden Ring. Are you fucking kidding me? It's the same fucking dude. People still watching him despite legitimately scamming people off of fucking Sony systems. So that's fucking retarded. That might be a good video, actually, talking about that. Okay. Alright, let's, actually tweet about that, actually, really quick. I'll be right back. Alright, enough of this gay anime shit. Oh shit, let me actually pause. Alright, so yeah, I did technically level up off stream before I started today, so that's fun. I'll probably focus on the Hailstorm, or actually no, this weapon, because loading up with the starting pistol is really fucking annoying. Apparently there's a perk that lets you make it full auto, which is kind of cool, I guess, but it's kind of weird. Kind of cool, but also kind of weird. But as I was talking about earlier, this is basically literally reskinned and repurposed to be more or less the same, just with a couple of things to make it interesting, but... But let's actually pause on something like COD Ghosts, so you can actually see that weird screen. I do want to get to level 20 so I can start getting much better cards over, because apparently the cards you unlock you can use normally are much better than the ones you normally start with, which is annoying. Basically get a 30-second infinite ammo usage, which is mad broken, with the pillars that are just also ridiculously good. Well, it's better than the other one. I might swap that with whatever. This weapon also legit feels like something out of Borderlands, because it's basically a revolver but it shoots burst fire. But yet COD kids don't want to play Borderlands because it's not fucking Call of Duty, which is... whatever. I'm not going to get into that can of worms, no sir. I do like they can actually slap on most of the skins compared to actually unlocking them, so at least it does me some good. I guess picking up ammo clubs is okay, but it's just... the drop rates are just... they're just ass. I think I've gotten nukes rarely, unless my RNG is just terrible, but it's, I don't know, it's, I don't know, I feel like the drop rates in this are kind of shitty. Speaking of the devil, actually. Literally. Alright. I don't know if this game has, like, actually any other useful, scopes besides this. Alright. Alright, let me go deposit the coin, I guess, and assemble the head or something. I keep forgetting to do that. Like, I'm just kind of more or less focused on trying to level up. I forget these actually help you level up a lot more than whatever. So that's nice. Alright, let me respond. Alright. Damn it! Fuck. Oh, let's shoot some zombies from a distance. I'm guessing the grenades float between rounds. I didn't even know. It says it generate over time, but I've not seen it regenerate at all. So that's nice. Oh my god, I actually died. But that's the thing I don't understand with this game. It's like, okay, I come back from the dead, and I have this pistol, right? So when I go back to the Lost and Found, they gave me back the same pistol I had, but it doesn't even fill up my ammo. What the hell? I just think that's incredibly dumb. Like, legitimately dumb. Oh, but you see, it's supposed to make the game much more challenging by making you so you can't rely on such stupid things. It's just stupid. I hate it. At least I finally got the next rank of this gun, so that's good. I really hate how you can't, like, level up the weapons unless you get the level. And I just find it to be extremely annoying. So this game basically learned nothing from fucking Black Ops 3, considering it just came out after. So that's just annoying as hell. But it is what it is. Also, I'm running back here because I forgot to buy the revive. So that's nice. I believe I also finally got the last of the slots for the other weapon, so I probably won't be using it again unless I'm playing with whoever. Alright. Max Amu! I really hate the robotic voice in this, honestly. It just sounds dumb. It sounds really, really dumb. Shit. Damn, not even halfway. Shit. At least I'm doing better than when I did prior, where I like died like 8 minutes in. I was not very happy. Do multi-kills. Crap. Oh, yeah, that's right. These don't actually have, I don't have to worry about that. Whoops. I saw what the point of the fucking shades are. And if I did, I don't remember. It's like, I always found it to be very weird that, like, you could get, like, a game like Call of Duty where it's, like, the most simplistic shit ever for general people. But then with zombies, it's, like, an entirely different meta for actually learning how shit works, which is really fucking stupid. And kind of contradictory, if I'm going to be honest. Yay. Wow, I actually earn money every time you hit. Holy crap. It's kind of silly. Oh, the next scene started. Whoops. Well, I'm dead. Well, since I have lots of points, I might as well try to open up as many doors as I possibly can. Very contradictory, but whatever. I'm mainly going for XP gains, so whatever. And I kind of need the big bucks, so screw it. I'll take the Volk, though. Probably head back once I get around 3,000, because I want to get them. I want to refill my deck. Oh, the box is here, huh? Wow. Well, well, well. Widowmaker. Oh god, the scope on this is unreal. Ah, oh, jeez, I'm dead. Oh, that looks like a weapon I could use. There we go. Oh, what is this? It's a... It's a weapon that literally fires once. Phenomenal. It damn better be the most powerful weapon, though. It only takes... You can only fire it once. I'm gonna guess these are snipers. So I guess in that case, I might as well hold off on buying the cards so I can get the most out of it. Piss. I wonder which one I should use, to be honest. I technically don't have anything with this, so I might as well just use it for now. Especially some broken shit, though, I swear. Probably won't be. I got the boom box. Kaboom! Alright, enough. Ow. I also know weird too. This is supposed to be a game that's known to have the annoying jetpack shit, and yet Zombies literally has none of that. So they could basically take the core gameplay but just remove the whole, you know, jumping and shit, because it kind of plays like that without it. Like, the only thing you really have is sliding, but it's not that, oh, it has, like, wall running and shit. Like, just imagine that. They actually had a dedicated mode without that. Like, I think it'd make a lot of people happy. At least I'd like to think so. Oh, God, this is bolt action? Well, I'm fucked. Well, at least it pierces, I guess, so that's good. Okay, I gotta get more cards. Boombox, save me! At least this dude's not shooting his lasers, so I'm actually doing pretty okay. Kind of sucks my offensive game is kind of limited. So one of these weapons has got to go. Okay, cool, I can use this. The Volk. Alright, let's go. I mean, yet... Oh, fuck. Well, technically, yet it's also a whatever, but at least you can actually fire relatively quickly, I guess. So, I'm not entirely against it. I don't know if it's as useful as, say, the golden gun from GoldenEye, but it could still be useful, I think. If used correctly. Oh shit, I actually got him. Well, I'll be damned. Goddamn believable. Wow. Glitchy bullshit, lol. Alright, well, I guess use the Volk, I guess. Unless I end up getting fucked. I might as well use a sniper. It's not going to be able to get this again, so might as well go off a bang, right? At least it explodes, so that's good. There we go. I'm actually doing pretty good. I don't know what the other perks are. I honestly don't even care. I just want to try to learn whatever. And just hopefully not do completely terrible. Oh my god, he's quickscoping, what an asshole. Now I got rank 3. But I actually kind of like this one. I mean, yeah, it's bolt action, but you don't really... It only has to reload one shot anyway, so I'm actually okay with it. I can imagine it's pretty OP, but since you only to reload one shell, whatever, it technically can fire relatively quickly. So, I guess I kind of found a sniper I actually kind of like using. Phenomenal. Reloads fairly quickly and all that fun stuff, so, oh well. Probably sounds a lot lamer than I think it sounds. Oh well. Wow, I'm actually getting halfway. It's crazy. Pig dog. Okay. Challenge failed. Fuck you. Yeah, I'm dead. Yep, I'm dead. Oh well. Well, that's gonna be it, I guess. It's, survived for about 24 minutes. Always nice to see. I don't know if I'll do this good next time I play, but I don't really care. But alright. Let me get this, up. Guess I'll check the X Twitter for a minute before I get off. Are you fucking kidding me? So there's this, powerlifting fetish that's going on, and I just think it's really fucking weird. And it's basically almost the price of a fucking console for boot, which I just think is fucking ridiculous. And apparently there's this thing for, recomp, whatever, for Nintendo 64 games. I don't know if it's like closed source or whatever. I have a feeling it's gonna get fucking, struck down to the heavens and back. Nioh 2 is a good Souls-like. Okay, sure. But it's not a Souls-like. You can't play it like one. Okay. Okay, alright. Well, I think that's enough for now. I might actually, respond to that one later, maybe, if I feel like it. Alright. See ya.